Hey guys, this is Rick Galvis, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, we're going to look at this really cool riff from the song Night's Blood by the band Dissection, which I think has a lot of really cool music theory concepts that you can learn from and apply to your own riff writing and songwriting. So our opening two bars takes place in the key of C minor, starting right here at the 3rd fret of the A string. Right here. So we're going up from the root up to the 3rd scale degree of the key, C minor. So all tremolo picking. And then once we've reached the 3rd of the key, which in this case is the note E flat, then we're going back down a minor 3rd, back down to the tonic. And then once we've reached back to the tonic, which is the C note, then we're going back up another minor 3rd up to E flat again. So then we're going E flat, then D really quickly. So back to C. So in total it's like this. And then from there we're going down to this F, which is the 4th scale degree in the key of C minor. That's going to be an F power chord right here. So far we have this. So after we've reached the F power chord, which is the 4th scale degree in the key of C minor, we're going into bar 3, which is based off of the tonal center of E. However, here, we're using a lot of modal mixture. So we're using notes that could technically be found in different scales. So, ending off our 2nd bar with going into. So what I just played there can be thought of as being from the E Aeolian scale. So we got 2 chugs on the low E string, then this really quick trill between E and F. So then 2 more chugs on the low E string. Then we're landing on this A sharp note, which is going to be a tritone in comparison to the tonal center of E. So A sharp. Then here we're actually going into notes taken from an E natural minor scale. So you can think of this part here in bars 3 and 4 of the riff as being as like a modal mixture between E Aeolian and E natural minor. So after the first bar or so, where it's obviously implying an E Aeolian sound like this, we're doing 2 more chugs in the open low E string, then going to F sharp and G on the A string, then to D and E. So in total here we got. So we're landing on E, going back into C minor. And this works quite well considering we both have an E, obviously, and also the note C in E minor. So having these 2 notes in common helps with our transition back from E minor into C minor. So just to recap so far, we're starting off this riff in the key of C minor, going into a modal mixture of E Aeolian and E Aeolian or natural minor. And since we have C also in the key V minor, this allows us to easily get back into the key of C minor again. So like this. And then from there, we're going into this really thrashy part, which goes like this. A play it again. So for this part of the riff, I like to think of it as a modal mixture between E Phrygian and E Aeolian, also known as the natural minor scale. So again, we're starting off with 2 low E palm mutes. So the 2 low E palm mutes going into a power chord on E, so at the 7 frets of the A string, going into F with a slide like this. Then 2 more palm mutes on the low E string. Then with a power chord at D, so the 5th frets of the A string, sliding back into E, our 7th fret, so like this. So I like to think of this part as a modal mixture between E Phrygian and E natural minor, or E Aeolian, because we have more use of our perfect 5th here. So our E power chord consists of E and B, sliding into our F power chord, which is the notes F and C. So here we already got the intervals of a root, perfect 5th, minor 2nd, and a minor 6th. So root and 5th, minor 2nd, and minor 6th. Already implying a Phrygian sound as opposed to a Locrian sound, which uses the flat 5th or diminished 5th, which is in this case going to be in A sharp. So our tail ending of this part of a riff goes like this. So again, using 2 open E string palm mutes, going to C on the A string, to an E 2nd fret on the D string like this. Then we're going into C, D, G, F sharp. So that F sharp would be our major 2nd, taken from the E natural minor scale, like this. So regardless of the exact scales that we're using here in this riff, particularly in the section of the riff that's based off a tonal center of E, the cool thing that's really going on here is the fact that we're really shifting tonal centers within one riff. So something that's really cool about how this C minor section of the riff ends and then leads into our next section of the riff based on E is the note that the C minor section ends on, which is the note F. And this note is significant because when we go into our next 2 or so bars of the riff, after we're in the key of C minor, notice how we're making a lot of use out of the minor 2nd interval here. So the minor 2nd interval F in relation to the new root here, which is the note E. So this transition between scales, between keys, works really well because we're making use of notes that are in common between these different scales. So obviously we got an F natural in the key of C minor, which is the 4th scale degree of the key. And then, even if briefly, we're going into this new part of the riff that makes use out of notes from the E Locrian and E Phrygian scales, which also has the note F in both of those scales. Both E Phrygian and E Locrian have the note F. So I think making use of the F note at the beginning of whenever we're in the new tonal center of E here is a really clever way to really firmly get ourselves, even if quickly, into a new tonal center. So I think this riff from Night's Blood by Dissection is an excellent example of three things. So first of all, this is an excellent example of key changes or changes of tonal centers within one riff. Second of all, this riff is an excellent example of modal mixture, particularly whenever we find ourselves in the part of the riff that is based off of E. And thirdly, this riff makes use of common notes between scales, which allow us for an easy and smooth transition between different scales and different keys. Alright guys, that's it for today. Thanks once again for watching this video all the way through and for supporting my YouTube channel. Be sure to like this video and to subscribe to my channel for more killer guitar related content and metal related content coming in the future. Have a good one guys. I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.